Hello and welcome to Integrity Talks. I'm Sharissa Bloomberg, and here's where we're taking integrity to the community. And so I'm very excited to introduce someone who's doing work that's close to my heart. Well, it was in my youth. He is a professional boxer, and he has such an interesting story because he's come from a challenging background or challenging youth, and he's just made so many amazing changes and built resilience that I want him to inspire other youth. So welcome to Daniel Pontack. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Sharissa.
Hi.
Thank you so much for having me.
So thank you for being here. Daniel, professional boxer. So please just tell me a bit about how you changed your whole life around. And of course, this is about integrity. So you did the right thing, but you did the right thing for yourself. Tell me a little bit how you got started, because that is your gym I'm looking at, isn't it?
Yes, this is my boxing club, Off the Ropes Boxing Club, that I opened last year in November. We've been open for 6 months. 3 months of that we've been closed because of the lockdown. But yeah, this is my space right here.
Which you can't wait to open again as soon as lockdown will allow. But
yes, we cannot wait.
Daniel, in your own words, you've been a naughty boy in your youth, and you've had some challenges.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what those struggles were, because I want to find out how you turned your life around.
Okay. So just a little bit of a background. I was born in Zimbabwe, and I moved here a while ago. I've been staying here for about 18 years now. And moving from Zimbabwe to here was a bit of a difficult change for me because as a young boy, not knowing why I perhaps didn't have the same things that my friends had. Obviously, my parents, starting a new life, things financially were not where I wanted them to be. So becoming a teenage boy and just not having the same things that everybody else around me had made me rebel, hanging out with the wrong people, and just getting up to naughty things and partying a lot. Boys being boys, as they say. I did a lot of that in my teenage years, and it really wasn't so good for my schoolwork, my mental being, always just wanting to have fun versus actually trying to put in the hard work. So a little bit past that, after I just started university, I actually became a born-again Christian. And it was in that time that one of my best friends had also told me about a boxing gym that was close to my house. So I decided I'm going to go and check it out the next day. I went into that boxing gym, and I never left for 7 years. I put all my time and effort into that boxing gym. And what it actually had taught me is all of the things that a little bit of discipline, perseverance, and hard work can do for you, inside and outside of the boxing ring. So, boxing's really, really played a big part in my life over the past 9 or 10 years because I've been involved in amateur boxing most of my time. And I love boxing so much that I actually turned professional, and that I actually even changed my career path from working in the film industry, because that's what I studied when I was at university. It was multimedia and technology. Got my degree in that. I worked in the film industry for 6 years. But just through what I learned in boxing and learning to work hard and try and reach my goals, I've managed to change my career now into professional boxing. I've had 3 fights all last year. I haven't had anything this year due to the lockdown. And yeah, like I said, I started my boxing club, Off the Ropes Boxing Club, last year in November. And things have been great just until the lockdown.
Okay. So Daniel, that is amazing, because I know there's so many lessons to be learned from boxing.
Yeah.
I used to do that in my youth. But Daniel, tell me, I want to go back to when you were a naughty boy. And forgive me for being blunt, but I just feel that there's so many other youths that are struggling with this. Did it involve gangs? Did it involve drugs? Well, how naughty was naughty?
Okay. So luckily enough, my parents decided that they would like to stay in a decent area and, let's say, not have the finer things in life versus staying in a area with gangs or that type of thing. So I wasn't involved in any gangs or anything. My mischief was purely um, boys being naughty, meaning I was drinking, I was smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, out late hours of night partying with my friends.
Rebelling a bit.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
just rebelling, and getting lost in the party scene, as they say, taking party drugs. I was never addicted to anything, and I never got caught up in that world seriously. But if I had to say I was addicted to anything, I would say I was addicted to having fun and
Yeah.
not wanting the fun to stop.
Now, Daniel, at what point did you realize I'm walking down this road that could be disastrous for me and yeah, affect my school and everything? At what point in your mind did you say, whoa, enough is enough? I'm walking down a dark road.
I would say it was straight after high school in my first gap year. I slowly realized, like, okay, well, now you're grown up. Your parents don't give you money anymore, that type of thing. You have to go out, get a job, working in factories, bartending, being a waiter. Like, I've done everything under the sun. All of those little jobs that just try and get you by so you can go out and have fun, they kind of were extremely meaningless. And just looking at my life, and some of your friends are growing up, other ones are still partying. People are doing awesome things. Same people that I went to high school with. Just reevaluating myself based on what I see around me made me realize that I need to grow up. Basically,
Yeah,
it's time for me to pull my socks up and stop with my nonsense now, because I was educated enough to know that that's not the right way. So
yeah.
I just had to tell myself enough is enough now. You need to be a big boy now and do something with your life.
Amazing. Now, I'm caught up in your whole story. So let's go back to integrity. It's the most misunderstood word in the world. What does it mean to you in your field?
I would say integrity, well, in general, I would say just being honest towards yourself and honest towards other people, how you treat them in your everyday interactions, how you act towards people you work with, your family, just uh, not bringing in things that unnecessary things that shouldn't be happening, being the best person you can be, being honest. That's what I think integrity means to me. And in my industry, because boxing in South Africa it's actually extremely small, all the gyms know each other, we all know all the boxers. I would say integrity right now at this point would be for gyms to work together. Like, I would like to work with other gyms, that we can have our boxes working together and improving, learning skills from each other versus my team versus your team, that type of mentality. I'd rather have us work together, and then we get a better group of boxers that could perhaps compete at a national level against a bigger team, So just, yeah, being able to work with other people and being honest to share your information with them.
Yes. What could go wrong in terms of integrity in boxing? Is there match fixing? I don't know. Yeah, what could possibly go wrong
So
if you weren't strong in your faith?
Okay, so in boxing, amateur boxing is a sport. People purely do amateur boxing because of their passion for the sport, and obviously you do have the ones that want to become professional that take it very seriously. But it's more of a sport, and professional boxing is more of a business. The reason I say that is because now there's money involved. You're getting paid, managers are getting paid, coaches are getting paid, the person that's putting together the event, the promoter, they're getting paid. So as soon as money becomes involved, things become
Yes.
obviously a lot more serious. And there's always corruption. There's always been corruption in boxing, in amateur boxing and professional boxing alike. Um, it's To be honest, boxing is one of the oldest sports ever, and gangsters started boxing. That's how money was and turf was controlled from one side to the other. I'm pretty sure there'll always be corruption and favoritism. As I've seen personally in South Africa, there's a lot of favoritism in amateur boxing. You could watch a boxing match, and an avid person that does not watch boxing will see that one person had won that match, and the refs would have chosen the other person to win that match. The reasons, there's multiple reasons, which there's no reason to get actually into right now, but there's definitely a lot of problems with integrity within the sport of boxing. Um, Hopefully, from my side, I could just, not do anything that would compromise my integrity.
Yes.
So, to be the best athlete that I can be, make sure that I train well and I'm not taking performance enhancing drugs, for example. Make sure that I'm always a good athlete, I'm always respectful. I always am on time. Just that could be my contribution towards integrity in sport.
Exactly, because your name is everything. It's your credibility. And I was talking earlier today about once there's an integrity lapse, no matter what it is, where something's gone wrong, it's so difficult to come back from that and rebuild once trust has been broken. So I'm very proud of you. I'm sure your parents are very proud of you. So
yes, they are.
What would you say to the youth who are walking down that path of disaster and they may be interested in boxing? What would you say to them? Firstly, to get off that path, and what is your advice?
Well, I would say, you've obviously got to look at your life and what's going wrong, why it's gone wrong, and you got to always understand one thing: you are your only problem. That's one thing I've learned. Anything that I think is an issue in my own head. There's always a way around that issue, even if it might actually be something that's going to happen or a problem that might arise in the future. But I understand that you always need to understand you're your only obstacle in life.
Yes.
You can actually do anything that is like anything on this earth. It's just about amount of work and sacrifice that you put into reaching your goals. So if you see yourself going down the wrong path, what you need to do is stop right there, reassess your life, the people that you're hanging around with, because most likely the biggest problems, it's because of people hanging around with the wrong crowd. So you need to, just isolate yourself and reassess your life. And I've always, obviously, because I'm a born again Christian, I'm going to say you need to call on God and ask Him to come into your life. Because with God, you'll realize what's wrong in your life. You'll also be able to put away your issues that you have from your past and then see the future in a better way. And then you can start walking the new road versus the old road that you were on, one that you're always complaining about. Now, having said all of that, just because you ask for God to come into your life and you've changed your shoes now and you're walking a new path, it doesn't mean that the issues are not going to be there. For myself, when I started boxing, did I realize like how many problems that I actually had before that. And it took me a very long time to break down a lot of barriers that I had in my life. I'm not the person that I am today that just because of like a click of a finger and it happened in a month or two. It's taken me 7 to 9 years to get to this point now. And you've got to give yourself time to mend. And you've slowly but surely got to start hanging around with the right people as well, people that are going to bring you up to a new level, people that are going to teach you new things, and people that are going to enjoy the qualities that you give them. So, it's a give and take relationship. It's not just a give relationship. And in terms of boxing, if boxing is your goal, I would say you are spot on with that goal, because boxing teaches you so many things. You don't even need to compete to learn the difficulties of boxing.
Yes.
You'll learn perseverance, discipline. You'll have an awesome workout, and boxing gives you great hand-eye technique, hand-eye positioning with your feet. So you're going to learn a skill at the same time.
And I wish more women would do that. because when I was younger, it was amazing to do that, because exactly as you've said, it learned discipline. It made me feel alive. It made me feel like I can protect myself. And I had to be quite alert when those pads were, and those gloves were coming from me.
Yeah.
I had to be 100% focused. And besides the 6-pack I got at the time, it's an amazing feeling. Plus, it helps you just, once you're boxing and you're pushing and, you're doing it, it's just, you're letting off steam and you're letting go of anger and you're letting go of the issues for the day. And I mean, I've never felt more on top of the world when I did that. So I salute you, my man. I really, really do. And
No, thank you so much. I do appreciate that.
and I think your parents can be really, really proud of you. And I hope that you'll be a beacon of light for all those who've turned their life around and have the emotional intelligence and the insight to actually do that. I'm going to follow your journey.
You so much,
yeah, I can't wait for lockdown to be finished so that you can continue to fight professionally, safely.
Yeah.
And we'll follow your journey and we'll see how you do, and maybe have you back on the show in a couple of months' time. But unfortunately, I've come to the time. Yeah, it's been so interesting. I want to wish you every single success. Yeah, and just keep shining your lights.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for allowing me on the show. It was awesome questions, and I really enjoyed our time together. I do hope to be on the show again in a few months when you finally have your own studio. And when we do open the gym, you must definitely come and join us for a session.
Oh, please, I'll be a middle-aged oldie, but I definitely, if you'll be patient with me, I'm going to be there. So thank you. And if people want to get in touch with you, we'll have all your media handles when we put this post out, thanks to Ovation. So
awesome stuff.
Thank you. All the best. And
all the best to you too. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye-bye.